with the cable. So look how they lie and they try to fabricate things upside down. They take your home and they rape your women, and then they claim that the land is their land, the same as they do today with Israel. Even your yellow pages book, the holy yellow pages Quran, saying that Israel is the land of the Jews. If we go in the Quran, we will not find a single place where Allah he says the land is not the land of the Jews. In chapter 5 verse number 21, and you can read many verses before and verses after, you will see that Allah is the one supposedly who ordered the Jews to go and launch a war and take that land.
So as usual, this bastard Christian prince, the pig, the Christian pig, the crusader, again he's lying. He's lying because, my brother, if you read more in the Quran, because look, you're stupid. Yani, who was Musa sent to? He was sent to the Jews. Banu Israel. I don't think this guy knows what Banu Israel is. Okay, let's look at this verse in the Quran, chapter 3, verse 93. كل الطعام كان حلا لبني إسرائيل إلا ما حرم إسرائيل على نفسه. It clearly says all of the foods were lawful or halal for the children of Israel. Bani Israel is the children of Israel. Now, but who is Israel? إلا ما حرم إسرائيل على نفسه. So now it says only Israel here. Here it says Bani Israel, here it says Israel. So now let's ask ourselves, who is Israel and who are the children of Israel? Israel was the name of Prophet Yaqub. Banu Israel were Yusuf alayhi salam and his brothers, and from them came the offspring of Bani Israel. We look more close in the Quran. من قبل أن تنزل التوراة. So before the Torah came down, there were things that were halal for Bani Israel, except for what Israel did not want to. He forbade for his own self. He did not want to eat. Before the Torah was, because when the Torah comes, then Allah will instruct them about, He will tell them that, oh, these things that used to be lawful, they're now unlawful, or those things that were unlawful are now lawful. So we'll start to instruct them about what is lawful and what is unlawful. So now we see that Prophet Yaqub came before Prophet Musa. And now if we look more forward, who is the father that Yaqub alayhi salam came from? So now we go to Ibrahim. Ibrahim had his son Ishaq. Ishaq had from his offspring Prophet Yaqub. Yaqub was from the offspring of Ishaq, and so from Yaqub came Yusuf, and so now we see that Prophet Yaqub was a Muslim, Yusuf was a Muslim, Musa was a Muslim. It didn't change, but what happened was that the Torah, if you're looking thousands of years before the Bible came, the Torah might be written on ink, on walls or anything like that. People throughout the generations, because it's too long, you don't know what happened, they changed it. The ink, maybe they dissolved the Torah that was, all the Torahs that speak the truth, and start to change the words. Because you can see through history, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of messengers coming afterwards. So this can show that there's something that like it's still, the Torah can't exist till today. There's no way the Torah, the real Torah, the original one, can exist today. You look at the Torah, there's New Testaments, Old Testaments. You don't know which one is the real one. Where's the original one? Now the Prophet, Allah says, say, O Muhammad, فَأْتُوا بِالتَّوْرَةِ, the original Torah, فَاتْلُوهَا إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ, come with the original Torah and read it upon me. He told that to the Jews, so that if you are one of those who speak the truth, because of course the Prophet Muhammad was a prophet, messenger of Allah. He received revelations straight from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He would know if this verse was verses from the real Torah or not. You understand what I mean? So now we understand that this guy is a liar. He's a kadhab. Israel belonged to the Muslims long ago, because straight the land, the holy land of Israel, which Prophet is called that because Prophet Yaqub was born there, and his children, offspring of Bani Israel, were Muslims until later on they started becoming Jews. And the Torah, who received the Torah? Which book did the Torah come to which messenger or prophet? It was Prophet Musa. Prophet Musa alayhi salam carried the Torah. Allah revealed it to him. So before that, the Torah wasn't even there. So what is this stupid guy saying? Yes, there were some of Bani Israel who were Muslims, and some of them who became Jews later on. Some of them who became Jews chose their own religion later on. Because of course, the people start to call themselves a sect. So those people who were following Musa, when they changed the Torah, they start calling themselves Yahud. They start calling themselves Yahud. Why did they start calling themselves Yahud? Because originally, before Musa, the son of Ishaq, before Musa, there was a son that was called Yehuda. And this son was a Muslim. But what they did is they said, because we need to have the nasab of this person, they called themselves Yahud, as to meaning that they are descendants from Yehuda, who Musa alayhi salam was also a descendant from, and who Yaqub, the father of Bani Israel, was also a descendant from. This is why. Now, this is what we need to understand here. He doesn't know what he's talking about, because we also know that in the Quran it mentions that Allah expelled Banu Israel from the Holy Land, and then He brought them back. So usually when He says brought them back, it does not mean all of them, but those who left, they started to immigrate around the world, like find places and stay there. So now those little that came back, few, should be extinct already, because today in Israel you will not find the real Bani Israel. It's either they're saying that there are some researchers that say that they're the tribe of Bani Israel are found in Yemen, because if you go to Yemen today you'll find Jews there. And when we go back to the family tree of the prophets, here if you want to see, this is Adam, Seth, Idris, Nuh, Hud, Salih, then Ibrahim, then Lut, then Ismail. Ismail was older than Ishaq. So you have Ismail, Prophet Ismail, then Ishaq, and from Ishaq came Yaqub. And even looking at it historically, from the Islamic way, it shows that according to Islamic tradition, Musa was born into a family of Israelites living in Egypt. So Musa was from Banu Israel. So he was a descendant from Prophet Yaqub, and the Torah came to Prophet Musa, not to Prophet Yaqub, to Prophet Musa. So the Asr in general, the Jews who follow the Torah, the Jews came after. They didn't exist at that time. It was only called Banu Israel. There were some of them that were Muslims and some of them that weren't Muslims afterwards. Because the Banu Israel were all Muslim. Yusuf and his brothers were Muslims. Yusuf's father, Prophet Yaqub, was a Muslim. Ishaq was a Muslim. So I just don't understand what this guy, like I said before, that he's trying to say that Israel was like the land, it was always there, but in reality there is many tribes lost. The Israelites, they're not known. The real Israelites are not known. Even those, you look at them, for example, let me show you, like through generations, like even in the Pahlavi dynasty, which happened in 1927 to 1978, it says from 1948 till 1953, okay, till 1953, about 1/3 of Iranian Jews, Persian Jews, most of them poor, immigrated to Israel. So now if I'm gonna go to, David Littman here, he puts the total figure of Iranian Jews who immigrated to Israel between 1948 and 1978 at 70,000. So they immigrated to Israel, they stayed there, they had offsprings there, 70,000. These are not Banu Israel, these are Persian Jews. Because not all Jews are Israelites, Habibi. There are some people that, not all Muslims are Arabs. Because there are Muslims from Europe that convert to Islam, Muslims from America convert to Islam, Muslims from Iran who convert to Islam. Not all Muslims are Arabs. You see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. When people, they usually have a, when they talk about Banu Israel, because look, Isa alayhi salam, Prophet, Prophet Isa, he was from Banu Israel and he was not a Jew. According to, if that's a claim also in Christianity, that Jesus came from Jacob. So he was from Banu Israel, okay? And according to that, they say that Jesus was Christian. So now, does that mean that Jesus, because he's from Banu Israel, he has more right for the Holy Land than the Jews? Because the Jews were before him. Why did Jesus live in the Holy Land? Why did Jesus go to the Holy Land? Why did the Lord say that we have to punish Israel for their crimes, or, like fight them and kill them? So now, from two perspectives, although there's some similarities and differences, we find out that there is no way, because if the Quran says that the Israelites from Israel, they were expelled from the Holy Land, and some of them afterwards came back, so Allah that might forgive them. But during generations, because during the time from Israelites, it was very long ago, so there's no way that is a real Israel. Because I can tell you today, look at the Arabs of Palestine, or the Arabs of what's it called? Look at the Arabs of Saudi Arabia, and because remember, Ismail and Ishaq were brothers from the same father, different mothers. Look at them and show me. There has to be at least some similarities between, because you're looking at Banu Israel, like you're looking at the Israelis today in Israel, the ones that occupy it, they look no way like the Arabs. They look no way like the Arabs, and there's many showing that these people were Christians who were Christian Europeans and who converted to Judaism for political power. And so they came to Palestine after the British war in Palestine. When Britain left, it left some what do you call it, some occupied places that it had to most Europeans had to move to it. For example, let me give you an example. If Israel today is not occupying Palestine, let us look at something. Why is Israel occupying south of Lebanon? If we look here, look. So looking at it here, even you can find it on Wikipedia. Israeli occupation of southern Lebanon. Why is Israel invading Lebanon, which is under Arab rule? Because remember, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, and and Palestine are, they're all Bilad al-Sham, the Levant lands. So the Israeli occupation, they invaded Lebanon, and now it's still occupied. The place is still occupied. And there's many times that the Shias of Lebanon had to go and fight them, had to go and raid these places and start to fight them, and then the Israelis also fight back. But this is what I mean. If he's talking about why is Israel having the right to occupy south of Lebanon? How does Israel even have the right? So now let me tell you something. If we look if we look here, look, even the Israeli soldiers here. Does this look anything closer to Arabic, or like look at it? Look at both of them. Why did Hitler kill the Jews? Because they were, they were not Aryans. They were not white people. So that's why Hitler hated them. They didn't have blonde hair like this lady here, or red hair like this lady there. These are Israeli soldiers. They look no way similar. No way similar to Arabs. Not in any way. Like you can see here, according to Israel's Central Bureau of Statistics, it says that they claim, according 75.4% were Jews of any background. Among them, 68% were Sabras, Israeli born, mostly second or third generation Israelis, and rest are Olim Jewish immigrants to Israel. They immigrated to Israel. 22% from Europe, those who are in Israel today. Okay? And the Americas, and 10% from Asia and Africa, including the Arab countries. Now they say nearly half of all Israeli Jews are descendants from Jews who made Aliyah from Europe, while around the same number are descendants from Jews who made Aliyah from Arab countries, Iran, Turkey, and Central Asia. Over 200,000 are descendants from Ethiopian and Indian Jews. So you can see there has been changes. It doesn't mean that these who had the nasab, because look, even if these people are claiming that they have bloodline to the real children of Israel, okay, well, I don't think so, because of course these are people from different countries who right now make Israel, as when they all come together they have more offspring, which doesn't make them as pure children of Israel. Because I can explain it to you right now. There's a thing called in Judaism, it's a kind of ritual. It's called Kabbalah. Kabbalah, reception, tradition, or correspondence, is a way, you know what it is? It is a way for practicing, for using magic to see the offspring, which offspring a person goes to, which where does a person inherit his bloodline from. Okay, so it's a type of magic that shows, how it teaches a person how to using magic to describe where he comes from, or he comes from. And this is why it's magic is not accurate. It does not prove, magic is false and a lie. It does not prove where a person is from, because even in Iran today the Christians use a type of magic to get into the spirits, and of course the shaitans, the devils inside the body, are liars, and they talk whatever they want, and some people believe them. When the devils are liars, they don't speak the truth. So if you can see, it's a type of ritualic thing of the Jews use. It is not accurate, does not prove anything. Magic does not prove a fact. It does not prove it at all. So it's not still accurate to know whether it's a truth or a fact, or if it's a lie. So even if you search up practical Kabbalah in historical Judaism is a branch of the Jewish mystical tradition that concerns the use of magic. It was considered permitted white magic by its practitioners, reserved for the elite who could separate a spiritual source from realms of evil if performed under circumstances that were holy and pure. So it still uses magic. So, for example, it says its teachings include use of divine and angelic names for amulets and incantations. This is what is Kabbalah in the Jewish way of, ritual way. There's also Christian Kabbalah, which is what proves what I said, that in Iran they still speak to the jinns to humans that are possessed by jinns, to say where the nasab is. There was a video one time I was watching about, like, in the church of Iran church, like they were possessed lady, they're trying to see the jinn, speak to the jinn inside, or the devil inside of her, and of course the devil is a liar. He's gonna give you, holy, gooey gooey. That's what it's gonna give you. The devil is gonna give you like potato and tomato. He's gonna speak things lies. And if we look here, theories of Pashtun origin, the Pashtuns that live in Afghanistan today, they say the tradition legend of descendants from King Saul, sometimes called the Banu Israel origin team. So descendant from Abraham, again, descendant from Aryan, okay. These descendant from Greek Central Asian kingdoms. There are a lot of things that say, like they are lost tribes of Israel. This is a tradition among Pashtuns of being descendants from exiled lost tribes of Israel. And they give you many information here describing why or how they would be from Banu Israel. So the lost tribe, it's basically a lost tribe. They're lost tribes of Banu Israel because the Israelis, they left of Israel. The real Israelis, you see, the Mongols. What would have Mongols who killed all the Muslim world would at least kill a lot of Israel descendants if there were Israel. Let's say that. For example, let's say there are Israelites there. The Mongols who killed a lot of Muslims around the world, a lot of people, would have at least killed a lot of Israelites. They would have at least killed a lot of Israelites. And today, saying that, about that, we talk that during the Persian Empire in the 6th century of BC, all this was under the Persian Empire, including Syria, Palestine, Egypt, Libya, and the Israelites mostly were in this region of the area here. So how can you say that there isn't a lot of immigration of Persians and back and forth, and some who rape them, some who get married, intermarriages, a lot of things happening. It took a long time. Persian Empire was long. It wasn't that, and there would be probably immigration. There would be people that don't want to live under the occupation of Persians. They start moving around the countries. So you really can't know who is an Israelite or who is a European Jew who comes and claims I'm Israeli using some Kabbalah magic. How does he know? How do you know in a fact way that these people these people claim to be Israelites in Israel, saying that claiming that they are the real Jews and that they are descendants of Banu Israel? How is it a fact when it's all theories? How is it a fact that they're still living there? Okay, but maybe you say they might be living in Lebanon. Okay, but maybe I'm Lebanese, for example, or I'm Syrian, for example, or I'm from Jordan, for example, or I'm from Egypt, for example. But I'm a Muslim. I'm not a Jew, and I speak Arabic, and maybe I have blood of Banu Israel. Maybe I was Arabized. Maybe I have the blood of Banu Israel, and I'm not a Jew, and I speak Arabic today, and I consider myself Arab. And there are some theories that say that I have the nasab of Banu Israel, I have the lineage of Banu Israel, or the bloodline of children of Israel. But I'm Arab, I consider myself Arab today, and I live in this country, and this is my country too. Or I live in Palestine, I have lineage of Banu Israel, but this is my country. And I'm Arab too right now. I consider myself Arab, I speak Arabic. So at the end of the day, this is my country too. You can't occupy it. You can come from Europe and claim to have descendant of Banu Israel while I was living in this land before you, and you came and then you start settling here and claiming this is your land. Because probably there's a Persian person who's living in America today. He has descendants that become later on. He marries an American woman. He has descendants, Americans. You can see, you know, they're all white, but the real father is, you know, there was intermarriages. His whole offspring afterwards are white people. And, you know, he's the Persian guy at the top here. And then they still say we have the lineage of we're Persian in origin because we come from a Persian man. You see, in the end, doesn't give you the excuse to say that, oh, America is my country still, or like America is not my country. No, because you're already American. Khalas, you're already American. Intermarriages, you don't know. The last thing you would think of is about your offspring, because life has to go on. You can't stay all life saying, oh, I have to stay with offspring and all these things, you know. I have to go with the offspring and everything. You have the Persian Empire, and then you also have the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire also was in Palestine. Roman Empire. This was all the Roman Empire. The red, this was all the Roman Empire. And many Romans moved to the Levant during the empire. And many people start moving around the world. That's why you find some Arabs who went all the way to, some people like Ibn Arabi. He was a scholar. He was from Andalusia. Why was he called Ibn Arabi? Because he's the son of an Arab person. So his greatest grandfather was an Arab person who came from Arabia and settled here, and he had offspring, and Ibn Arabi was one of them. But still doesn't give him the right to say, oh, but this is my real land, I'm going to go here. No, because you're already here. In reality, it doesn't matter what race or country you are, but the way you're born in that place, khalas, you're a citizen. You're considered Andalusian or Spanish. This is the only way to prove that where people are from, or then there'll be mistakes, a lot of mistakes there. And there was also Phoenicia. Scholars generally agree that it was centered on the coastal areas of Lebanon, including northern Israel and South Syria, reaching far to the Arab. So now, and these Phoenicians were Greek. So there's a lot of mixes, intermarriages. There's no way, it cannot be a fact that a person is sure that his lineage is from this person. All these family trees are a basic theory, because you see many changes, and some people are disagreeing upon whose grandfather this is, but in the end you can't say it's a fact, because you don't have any proof to prove that it's a fact. You only have theories. But Christian Prince, the idiot bastard, the Khanzir, doesn't know what he's talking about. Then you have these Ashkenazi Jews who, you know, they, as it says, are Jews, the dispersed population who coalesced in the Holy Roman Empire around the end of the first, you know, millennium. And their language is Yiddish. It's kind of Germanic language with elements of Hebrew and Aramaic, developed after they had moved into Northern Europe, beginning with German. So they have moved. There is no way, there in centuries ago, there are many theories of history and things like that, they have moved. There is no way you can prove that they are Israelites. You know, they have the bloods of Banu Israel. There is no way. And as I said before, the Jews use a type of magic and the magic, as we know, according to Islam, if this Christian Prince idiot wants to go according to Islam, if we look at this here, narrated Abdullah bin Umar, is in Sahih Muslim, Book of Medicine. Sahih Bukhari, Book of Medicine. 2 men came from the east and addressed the people who wondered at their eloquent speeches. On that, Allah's Apostle said, some eloquent speech is as effective as magic. And that's actually true, because the Prophet Muhammad has warned us about these people who give good talks, about the Kharijites, the ISIS people of the end times. They give good talks, but they leave Islam. And that is what the meaning here is. It affects the person. Good talk, good speech can sometimes be a lie. Even if a person is saying good things, he is even showing clear proofs. Still, clearly, sometimes this clear proof can have some source of magic in it. He said, Rasulullah said, "Inna min al-bayani la-sihran, aw inna ba'd al-bayani la-sihr." He said that some of the clear proofs are a type of magic, or some of the clear proofs is magic. And again, what does Islam say about magic? A magician, a witchcraft person should be killed because that person can harm people. But of course, this cannot be taken by the hand of an individual. It must be taken under the Islamic law of the country that he's living in. Because magic is dangerous. It's really dangerous. And witchcraft can be casting a spell on a person. It's not that easy. And we know the Prophet ﷺ, there was a magic cast on him. It was not that easy. A magic can sometimes kill also. You never know what you cannot trust a magician. No way you can trust a magician. And here also we see in a hadith of Sahih Bukhari, Sahih authentic according to Bukhari, Aisha reported, "I heard the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, say, verily the angels descend in the clouds while they are floating, and they mention matters decreed in the heavens. The devils listen and steal what they hear and reveal it to the soothsayers. They mix with it 100. So the devils, before they reveal while they're revealing it to the soothsayers, they mix it with 100 lies for themselves." This is magic, my brothers. فَتَسْتَرِقُ الشَّيَاطِينُ السَّمْعَ فَتَسْمَعُهُ فَتُوحِيهِ إِلَى الْكُهَّانِ الْكَاهِنِ, soothsayers or magicians, فَيَكْذِبُونَ مَعَهَا 100 كَذْبَةٍ مِنْ عِنْدِ أَنفُسِهِمْ, from their own souls. Sahih Bukhari. Now you see for yourself. Now you're telling me using magic is going to prove historically? No way, bro. Magic is a lie. Even in many religions, that magic is not, witchcraft is a lie, of course. Soothsaying is a lie. There is no way you can prove 100% fact from magic that this is the nasab is correct. There's no way. There's going to be lies. There's going to be things going around. There's going to be devils like to play with people. Because of course magic was the origin of devils. As the Quran says in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَمَا كَفَرَ سُلَيْمَانَ وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ. And Sulaiman did not disbelieve, but the devils disbelieved because they taught the people magic. This is in Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah verse. I don't remember what the number is, but it is in Surah Al-Baqarah. And just to wrap it up for Christian Prince the idiot, who's saying according to the Quran, okay, we understand that Jews came after Prophet Ibrahim because Prophet Ibrahim received the Suhuf. He received a book called a Suhuf. So now we understand that because Prophet Musa is a descendant from Prophet Ibrahim, from Prophet Ishaq, he has the bloodline of Prophet Ibrahim from Prophet Ishaq, from Ibrahim's son. Prophet Ibrahim, according to the Quran, وَقَالُوا كُونُوا هُودًا أَوْ نَصَارَى تَهْتَدُوا. So those people said, be Jews or Christians, you become guided. Say, O Muhammad, to them, بَلْ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا. But the way of Ibrahim, who was a Hanif, who usually Hanif means was on the truth, or a Muslim, because Hanif means he does not seek partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ, and he was not among the polytheists. This is in the Quran, chapter 2, 135. And we can prove that Hanif means Muslim because according to another verse in the Quran, in chapter 3 of Quran, verse 67, ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما وما كان من المشركين. Indeed, Ibrahim was not a Jew nor a Christian, but he was a truthful Muslim, a Hanif Muslim, وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ, and he was not among those who seek partners with Allah or among the pagans or among the Jews or Christians. Here you can see the translation also. Abraham was neither a Jew nor a Christian, but he was one inclining towards truth, a Muslim, submitted to Allah, and he was not of the polytheists. So now we understand that he was Ibrahim was a Muslim, and also we understand that because he was a Muslim, the prophets, his sons, those whose sons who were prophets, or like Israel, which is Yaqub, and Banu Israel, the children of Israel, like Yusuf alayhi salam, they were also following Ibrahim's tradition. So قالوا آمنا, قولوا آمنا بالله وما أنزل إلينا. So Prophet Muhammad said, say to them, قولوا آمنا, we believe in Allah and what is revealed to us, which is the Quran. Because Prophet Muhammad was saying that to them. وما أنزل, and what is revealed إلى إبراهيم وإسماعيل وإسحاق ويعقوب والأصباط. Yaqub is Israel again, meaning Jacob. والأصباط, his sons or descendants like Yusuf alayhi salam and his brothers. وَمَا أُوتِيَ مُوسَى, and what Musa was given of the Torah. وَعِيسَى, of the Bible. وَمَا أُوتِيَ النَّبِيُّونَ, and what all the prophets have been given from Allah. Now again, this is not the corruption of the books, this is the real ones that were revealed to them, which are extinct right now, but still we believe in them, that they are all saying worship one God, Allah, and do not seek any partners with them. And they were all true, because they were all the word of God. وَمَا أُوتِيَ النَّبِيُّونَ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ, and what the prophets were given by their Lord, which is Allah. لَا نُفَرِّقْ بَيْنَ أَحَدٍ مِنْهُمْ, we do not differentiate or separate or differentiate between any of them. وَنَحْنُ لَهُ مُسْلِمُونَ, and we are to Allah all Muslims. So if Ibrahim was a Muslim, then of course Ismail is a Muslim, and Ishaq is a Muslim, and Yaqub is a Muslim. All of them are Muslims. And so later on in the chapter 2, verse 140 in the Quran, it says, أَمْ تَقُولُونَ إِنَّ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْمَاعِيلَ وَإِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ وَالْأَصْبَاطَ كَانُوا هُودًا أَوْ نَصَارَى قُلْ أَنْتُمْ أَعْلَمُ أَمِ اللَّهُ وَمَنْ ظَلَمَ مِمَّنْ كَتَمَ شَهَادَةً عِنْدَهُ مِنَ اللَّهِ وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. And so Muhammad asked them, or do you say, he said to the people, or do you say that Ibrahim and Ismail and Ishaq and Yaqub and his sons Al-Asbat Kanu Hudan, that they were, do you say that they were Jews and Christians? So Allah tells Prophet Muhammad, say to them, do you know more than Allah? And those who are more unjust or more wrongdoing is what he's a witness that they are Muslims, but he does not reveal the witness. He keeps his witness, sealed, and does not conceal his witness. عنده من Allah. He conceals the witness from his own self, which is from Allah, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself, he witnessed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in their books that he was not a Jew or a Christian. وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ, and indeed Allah is not unaware of what you do. So this is to explain more, just to make sure Christian friends understand the idiot. And so you can see also the translation here. Okay, end of story. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.